Imagine a small town in the Midwest, 1953. Willow Creek, Iowa. White church steeple rising above golden fields. The kind of place where everyone knows your name and sometimes they think they know your story too. That's where Clara Whitaker stood one crisp autumn morning greeting parishioners after service. The minister's wife, poised, kind, her voice soft as she asked about someone's sick child, her hand gentle on an elderly shoulder. She looked like she belonged there, like she had always belonged. But Clara hadn't always lived in the light. Years earlier in the smoky jazz clubs of Chicago, a young woman named Clara Ellis had sung for her supper. Orphaned at 18, she had no safety net, no family name to protect her. The Blue Note Lounge gave her a stage and a wage. Her voice, clear, aching, unforgettable, drew crowds on those hard nights. She sang of love and loss while cigarette smoke curled toward the ceiling. She kept her dignity. She never crossed the lines that would have broken her. But the world around her was rough, and rumors don't care about truth. In those days, a girl singing in a nightclub carried a certain shadow, whether she earned it or not. One rainy evening, Clara walked away from it all. She stepped into a little city church, heard a message about starting over, and something in her soul answered. She saved what she could, bought a train ticket, and came to Willow Creek under a quieter name. A fresh start. There she met Reverend Samuel Whitaker. He was steady as the oak trees that lined the town square, patient, deeply good. Their love grew slowly, walks along the river, long talks on the parsonage porch, shared prayers that felt like coming home. When Samuel asked her to be his wife, Clara said yes with tears in her eyes. She believed truly that her old life was buried. For nearly 3 years, it felt that way. Clara taught Sunday school with warmth that made children lean in. She visited the sick, organized food drives, and sang in the choir, this time hymns that lifted hearts instead of filling smoky rooms. Most of the town adored her, but not everyone. Some of the older ladies noticed how gracefully she moved, how her dresses, though modest, carried an elegance that seemed out of place in a farming town. Whispers followed her like dry leaves in the wind. Where exactly did she come from? She's awfully polished for a minister's wife. Clara felt those glances. She smiled through them, but they pressed on her like stones in her pockets. Then one ordinary Sunday, a stranger sat in the back pew. Victor Lang had managed the Blue Note years ago. He was passing through Willow Creek on business and stepped into the church out of curiosity, or perhaps something sharper. During the closing hymn, his eyes found Clara. Recognition hit like a struck match. After the service, he waited until the crowd thinned. In the quiet hallway behind the sanctuary, he spoke just loud enough for her to hear. "Well, if it is Lily, the songbird of the Blue Note, never figured you for a preacher's wife." Clara's world tilted. The name she had left behind, Lily, echoed in her ears. Victor didn't want money. He wanted the satisfaction of watching perfection crack. Over the next few days, careful hints began to spread. A comment here, a knowing look there. The whispers grew louder. Clara tried to carry on. She baked pies for the sick. She smiled in the market. But at night, the old shame returned. She saw herself through the town's eyes, the girl from the nightclub who had somehow fooled a good man into marrying her. The breaking point came on a rainy Thursday evening. Samuel found her in the kitchen, hands trembling as she gripped the edge of the sink, tears falling silently. She told him everything: the clubs, the survival, the fear that she would never be clean enough for the life they had built. Her voice cracked as she said the words she had dreaded most: "I'm so afraid I'll ruin you." Samuel listened without anger, without pulling away. When she finished, he took her hands in his. His eyes were steady, full of the same quiet strength that had first drawn her to him. "Clara," he said softly, "your past doesn't surprise God, and it doesn't change how I see you. The woman I love is the one who chose grace when the world offered her something harder. That's the woman this town needs." That Sunday, Samuel stood in the pulpit and spoke about mercy. Not in vague terms. He shared with Clara beside him, head high, that his wife had come from difficult beginnings. He spoke of how every one of us carries pieces we wish we could erase, how true community isn't built on perfection, but on the courage to forgive as we have been forgiven. The church was very still. Then something shifted. An older widow stood and shared her own long-buried regret. A farmer admitted the weight of mistakes he had carried for decades. The air in the sanctuary felt lighter, as if grace itself had walked through the doors. Victor Lang left town soon after. His attempt to expose and destroy had instead opened hearts. In the years that followed, Clara's voice, once used to survive, now lifted the town in worship. She and Samuel grew even closer, their marriage rooted deeper in honesty than secrecy ever could have allowed. And the people of Willow Creek learned a quiet truth. Sometimes the most beautiful songs come from voices that once sang in the dark. Clara's story reminds us that no past is too stained for grace to reach. The judgments we fear from others often say more about their own hidden wounds than about our worth. When we choose honesty and forgiveness, with ourselves and with one another, we don't just survive our past, we redeem it, turning old shadows into light for everyone around us. If this story moved you, I'd love to hear your thoughts on second chances in the comments. Subscribe for more heartfelt, reflective stories every week.